the leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View. All right, thank you very much for listening. I know this is a very new podcast. My name's Jessie. This is my POV, or Point of View. All right, folks, I just want to discuss why I'm decided to do this podcast. It is one of those situations where sometimes it takes a tragedy to spur a person into action, encouraging them to speak their mind. As the intro said, I'm a widow of a member of the United States Special Forces. I have a real unique perspective on the world around us. I know what it's like to know where have my husband deployed, not knowing where he is or when he'll come home. That knock on the door telling me he's never coming home, something I'll never forget. All right, up front, to protect the ones I love, these perspective stories are being released under a pseudonym. Newsflash, Jessie's not my real name. Not going to tell you where I live or who I know. All right, I've learned by watching and listening to those around me how interconnected things really are. I think this is an important insight to share with the world. I'm also quite the news junkie, always have been. This is my way of sharing my fascination with the news, with the world. Only information that is publicly available will be discussed, primarily from news sources. Common, not so common. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it. I will occasionally have guests on. Haven't decided who or what yet, but they will be forthcoming. All right. Let's get on to more important topics. Is the United States under attack? Yes. The United States is under constant cyber attack. Cyber attack? Some of you understand it, some of you don't. So to put everybody on the same page, we're going to talk briefly about what is a cyber attack. I have a website, jessiespov.com, with a blog post containing links to a lot of the stories I use, not all of them, or you'd be drinking from a fire hose like I was, or trying to anyway. That provides more information. A cyber attack is a deliberate exploitation of computer systems. Cyber attacks use malicious code to alter computer code. This can result in disruptive consequences that can compromise data and lead to all kinds of catastrophic consequences. Who would want to do such a thing? Right, we got the what out of the way, now let's get to the who. Lots of people. Governments, industrial spies, terrorists, organized crime, hacktivists, and hackers. Alright, let's get hacktivists out of the way. There are people that will take down a website, maybe people that like hacktivists, anonymous. They have a cause, and they think by taking down the PlayStation Network, they're furthering their cause. I really think they're just, hacktivists just annoy people, but they could go further, but they usually don't. Alright. Now, like I said, hacktivists, while they're out there, I think they're more petty and vindictive than anything else. Now let's get on to the big ones. State-sponsored attackers or hackers. China, North Korea, and Iran. That's just a few. Now I'm also going to include Daesh or ISIS. Daesh is the European term for it, D-A-E-S-H. Most people here in the United States call it ISIS or ISIL. It's not a state actor. It is one of the largest and most sophisticated terrorist groups to use technology to its advantage. Alright, so we've got the what is and the who out of the way. Now, what do they want? They could want information, money, control, or to cause damage. Oh yeah, they can cause damage with cyber attacks. Everyone can. Alright, there are times the mainstream media won't tell you it's an attack, but if you learn to connect the dots, you realize it could be little else. There are hacks or cyber attacks reported at least once a week. OPM. Hospitals. OPM stands for Office of Personnel Management, i.e. government employees. These attacks could be corporate or government in nature, but they happen. Alright, let's go back in time. Yep, jump in this imaginary time machine with me. July 8th, 2015. United Airlines suffered a computer glitch that caused it to ground all of its flights. Now, stopping an entire airline is no small feat. That same day, the New York Stock Exchange had a computer glitch that caused it to suspend trading. Phew. Dodged a bullet. Nope. Wall Street Journal crashed their website. So, we have transportation, financial, and media attacked on that one day. Now, that's my opinion that it was an attack. There were official statements put out going, no it's not, no it's not, no it's not. I think someone was jiggling the light switch kind of going, guys, we can get to you. Alright, so if you can take down transportation, cripple the financial sector, and impair mainstream media in a wider manner, or combine that with other forms of attack, that could be ugly. Really ugly. Alright. Just the other day, Senate Homeland Security Chairman Ron Johnson stated he's concerned that the U.S. isn't doing enough to stop these cyber attacks. Johnson doesn't feel the threat is being taken seriously by the current administration. So we've got senators speaking out. Now, let's talk about the military. Okay, even the military isn't sure who reacts and how during a massive cyber attack. Wait a minute, you mean our military? Yes, you heard me right. Even the United States military isn't sure who reacts and how during a massive cyber attack on domestic targets. Now, in their defense, there are a number of issues that complicate the possible chain of command series. But, just like the problems with the communication between first responders on 9/11, needs to be fixed. ASAP. Yesterday? I hope current Secretary of Defense Ash Carter is making this a priority to get it straightened out. Okay, now, let's talk about one more military issue. Trident missile system. That's a nuclear missile, folks. The military is beefing up security around systems, especially those. Just imagine the devastation if ISIS was able to hack into even just one of these missiles and launch it. Yeah, our own nuclear weapons turned against us by a terrorist organization. Or even Iran. Or North Korea. God, Iran and North Korea are always going, they're going to wipe us off the map. If you haven't been paying attention, they've been North Korea in particular has been rattling for the last month. They kind of do this every year because of exercises on the peninsula, but they've been a little more vocal this year than usual. Alright, I digress. Let's get back to the military. The U.S. military currently has 100 cyber warfare teams, and they do both offensive and defensive operations. You go, yay! Wait, not so fast. On the ground, in the air, conventional war, we're bigger, we're stronger, and in a lot of cases tougher than any of our top attackers. Cyberspace, great equalizer. The gaps between our strengths and our weaknesses and their strengths and their weaknesses, they're much narrower You heard me. Much narrower. Okay, so we've got let's go back to the who. We discussed the military response. It's kind of a shoulder shrug. I don't know. Who do you call? I don't know. Who do you call? Yeah, this needs to be fixed. All right. Let's talk about what hackers want. Let's take two of these things. They want information. What if they could hack into military databases and they could see the information we are using to plan special forces, covert special forces attacks? Next step, what if they could alter it so that our military commanders can't even believe the information in their own reports? How much damage could that cause? They could set a trap. Oh yeah. Special Forces Widow card coming out here? I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about the carnage that can cause. Alright, now, in the case of a recent hospital attack, that they wanted money. They wanted to be paid off to basically give the hospital back its computer systems. Yeah, they hacked a number of took down the entire hospital. They potentially could have they shut down the CT scans, because remember, CT scans, x-rays, all those tests, they don't put them on a film anymore. They put them on a computer, on a hard drive. If you had a broken leg and were at that hospital, you couldn't get an x-ray. Hospital paid them off just because they wanted to get their system back up as fast as possible. Can't say whether I agree or disagree. Not sure. I wasn't in their shoes. Wouldn't want to be either. But that's one form of attack. Alright. Now, let's go back to our state sponsors of cyber warfare. Remember, Russia, China, they're both on this list. Last May, they signed an agreement not to attack each other. Yeah, you heard me. They signed an agreement not to attack each other. This means that two of the world's best cyber warfare people are now in an alliance against us. Now, side note here, China props up its puppet, North Korea, who's been yelling and screaming lately, "We're going to nuke America, we're going to nuke America." Alright. I could go on about the North Korea nuclear missile program, but I'm going to save that for another episode. Promise. It's the next one on my list, actually. That, and just while I'm promoting future stuff, I'm going to do a Terrorist 101. Who are they? Why don't they get along with the West? And how did all this conflict start? Yeah. Those are the next two podcasts I'm going to be working on. Get them done as fast as I can. Alright, now back to who wants to attack us. Remember, Iran? Okay, why would they want to attack us? Didn't we just sign a major deal with them? Yeah, we did. Personally, I don't think Iran has any intention of honoring that deal. The deal was over their nuclear weapons program. This deal also lifted most of the sanctions that were in place to keep the Western world from trading with this country. Those sanctions are gone. Air France just announced 3 flights a week to Tehran. Now, time out. You may or may not be up on your global politics. Most of you listeners to K98 probably are, but we're going to say, just put everybody here on a level playing field. We haven't had formal diplomatic relations with Iran since 1980. There was this thing in 1979 called the Iran hostage crisis. They held a whole bunch of Americans prisoner for over a year. Okay, yes. So we don't even have formal diplomatic relations with the country. We just signed an agreement that they wouldn't make nuclear weapons for a decade. And poof, all their sanctions went away. Doesn't sound like a good thing to me. Then, you want the cherry on top? President Obama gave them money. Wait. We gave them money to sign a deal that they wouldn't pursue nuclear weapons and we'd take away their sanctions for a decade. The sanctions are gone permanently. You can't pursue a nuclear weapon for a decade. And we're going to pay you to do this? Time out. Flag on the field. Does this sound like a good idea to anybody? I know it doesn't to me. I think I smell another podcast in the future. All right. Back to cyber attacks. I'm trying to stay on topic here. I really am. All right. Iran wants information. They have been cut off from the world. Their technology, their industries, they're largely behind those of the Western world. Some of their targets, not all of them, are aimed at corporations. Iran, just March 24th of this year, was charged with cyber attacks on U.S. banks. I'm quoting an NBC News article, the link's in the blog post at jessiespov.com. 7 Iranian computer experts linked to the government in Tehran were charged Thursday with cyber attacks against American banks and a dam in New York. A dam? That's infrastructure. Remember Ron Johnson, chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, said this isn't being taken seriously? I don't think it is. Now, don't expect to see him on trial anytime soon. FBI Director James Comey said the suspects may be out of reach while they're in Iran. But if they ever travel, we're going to try and extradite them from wherever they go, providing they go somewhere we have an extradition treaty. If we know they're there. And I will say, that's one thing the United States is good at. Our memory is long. Now, this attack, there were 46 major financial institutions targeted with denial of service attacks. Hackers gained remote control of hundreds of computers and servers. They use them to flood a target server data so it can't deal with regular business. Yeah. Some of their targets, Bank of America. You ever hear of them? Yeah, I know. I think half of the country banks with them. New York Stock Exchange. Wait a minute. April. Or no, excuse me. Not April. July 8th, 2015. New York Stock Exchange. Now you see why I say it was an attack? Even though the official report said, nope, no attack. Capital One. Ever hear of them? ING. Lesser but well-known investment firm. PNC Bank. Yeah, PNC Bank. And these were organized, systematic, relentless attacks. And that's according to Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Now, on the dam, we got lucky. The Bowman Dam in Rye, New York. It's in the suburbs of New York. Because of maintenance, the dam wasn't connected to the computer system. Now, what can you do when you can control a dam? How about open it wide and cause a flood? Remember the flooding a few years ago in the Midwest? Remember what happened? Hurricane Katrina? Flooding? Major loss of American life. So, cyber attacks. They real? Oh yeah. They're real, and they're out there. Alright, enough of the bad news. I like to end every podcast and every day on something positive. So, we are going to talk about a Marine. Not just any Marine, mind you. This Marine has 4 paws and goes woof, woof. Yep, I'm discussing a dog. A dog named Luca. She successfully completed 400 missions. Yeah, you heard me. 400 missions and protected the lives of thousands of troops during her 6 years, yes, 6 years of service in the Marines. Now, just because this, you say, well, the dog's not really a Marine. Oh, yes, she is a Marine. Don't even get me started on animals that wear the uniform. They exist. She was recently honored with the highest honor animals can receive for military service. So, and that medal is the PDSA Dickin Medal, the animal equivalent of the United Kingdom's Victoria Cross. This is the highest honor animals can receive for military service. And Luca, she's groundbreaking. She's the first United States Marine Corps dog to receive the medal. Now, she is retired. She even lost a limb. So she is a wounded warrior. Yes, Luca is a wounded warrior. So she is happily retired with Gunnery Sergeant Chris Willingham in California. So they've got some really adorable pictures of her up on the website, even a little video. So if you want to check it out, I encourage you. It's a great, uplifting story. Now, thank you all for listening. I know it's my first podcast. Hope to have you back again soon. What I'd like to say is a special thanks to Rick Robinson at K98 Talk. And don't forget to check out his amazing podcast, America Off the Rails. He's an inspiration. All right. My next one, I promise, will delve into North Korea and their nuclear threats. And then I'll get to that Terrorist 101. So just to make sure everybody's on the same playing field, because there's going to be a lot of things coming down the pike. So I'm going to refer back to it. So it might be a good idea to check it out. All right. You guys, take care. Have a great day. And like I said, end every day on a positive note.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.